Hello, beauties. Welcome to Moms Unboxed, a podcast where I unbox with you the how-tos, tips, and tricks to empower women to upgrade relationships, intimacy, and parenting. I'm your host, Melanie Caroline, a multi-dimensional woman, life coach, lover, and mom who's made a lot of fucking mistakes. If you want to live a sensual and liberated life, you've come to the right space. Don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed because you don't want to miss an episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Moms Unboxed. I am so thrilled that you are here listening. I hope you're having a beautiful week, and if you're not, I trust that it will turn around for you. Wow, has it been an interesting week. I flew across the country for PodFest all the way to Florida and met incredible people. So if you're one of those people and you are supporting my episode by listening, thank you so much. I'm so happy you're here. I appreciate you, and I am so excited to connect further. What are we unboxing today, mamas? It's a big topic, especially one I am so passionate about, the topic of authenticity. Now, if you don't know this, the highest vibration of love is authenticity. And that's why I want to unbox this with you today. Because I see so many mamas who are literally stuck in the mom role. We've gone so far in it that we have forgotten our identity and our authenticity and what the fuck that even looks like for us. So many moms have lost their identity. And being a mom is a fantastic role, but what's even better is being ourselves first while being a mom. As moms, we are leaders, and our children look up to us. And if they are not seeing the identity of you first, it's like they're going to grow up thinking the only place that they have, especially for our daughters, the only place that they have in this world is to be a mom. And that's not the case. There's so much more about us that moves beyond the mom role. So living an authentic life is the path to joy. And when we resist our authentic self, we become angry, frustrated, envious. We feel a loss of identity. And this loss of identity can just lead to suffering. The first key to being authentic is being honest with yourself. Who are you really when you take off the mom mask? Who are you? Do you even know what that looks like for yourself? And I think this is even more important to touch on when we become empty nesters. I've heard a lot of stories about women who become empty nesters and their children go away to college and they have no fucking clue what to do with themselves. They have no idea. They have to reclaim who they are. Why not learn about yourself while you're raising your kids so that when you do become an empty nester, not only do you know who you are, but it becomes amplified because now you have more space, time, and energy to truly do and be the person that you want to be. You get to expand on that. So first, I'd love for you to contemplate, who are you without the mom mask on? What truly matters to you? What parts of you have you been not being honest about? Is it your sexuality? Is it the hobbies that you enjoy? Is it the relationships that you want to be in or are in? Think about that for a second. Are you suppressing parts of yourself that you wish you could just fucking claim? Part of being authentic is reclaiming and reinvigorating parts of yourself that you may have shoved or stifled down within yourself. And there's this question I really like to ask is, what were you doing before you became a mom? Perhaps being a mom saved your life. And that's a big, huge piece too. Is that if being a mom saved you in so many different ways, it's like, how can you move that energy now and amplify it and really embrace it so that you can become an evolved version of you? You don't have to continue being the same person you were 10, 15 years ago. How do you want to grow?
Are there new things that you want to learn? Are there new hobbies that you want to pick up? Perhaps you're stuck in this relationship that you just don't want to be in anymore. It doesn't light you up. There's no passion, no fire, no intimacy, no emotional connection. And as a mom, we think that we need to stay in these relationships because we have kids with this person. And stay together for the kids mentality is what destroys kids. They watch as they grow up with their moms being miserable, unhappy, their parents not having connection. And this becomes the model for the children, and then we wonder why the cycle continues. Why is it my child's getting in this toxic relationship? Why is my child not happy with this person? Why isn't she leaving? It's because we don't think about the modeling that we are creating for our children. And this was tough in my relationship, leaving my marriage, was I didn't want to separate the family. And I really had to shift my mindset around what family meant. Just because two parents split off doesn't mean you're not a family anymore. It just means the family dynamic shifts and it changes. And in the end, we pray and hope that it has a better outcome, but at least we're modeling what we want authentically to our core, which is, we want beautiful, passionate, loving relationships. And that's what we want to model to our children. More importantly, we want to model what it looks like to love ourselves, what it looks like to be our true self at our fullest and highest expression. I'd love for you to take some time tonight and think about, what does it look like to be honest? What parts of myself have I been not acknowledging? Whether it's emotions, feelings, whether it's relationships, it could be down to the way you dress. I'm a very sensitive being, and tight clothes just is not comfy for me. And I tried really hard to dress this type of person that I'm not. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I started just wearing sweatpants and sweatshirts, not caring about what I looked like because I didn't know what to look like. I wanted to be presentable for people. So then I saw the Comfort sweatpant brand. And I said, wow, there it is. I get to be comfortable and stylish. Sure, I'm still wearing a sweatsuit, but fuck, I look way better than a pajama bottoms and a sweatshirt with my hair undone. And so that became more authentic to who I am and what I wanted to dress like. It's important to me that I'm comfortable. It's more important that I'm cute and comfortable. So I started buying those outfits. I still own who I am, and I celebrate women who own who they are as well. Number one, being honest with yourself. Who are you to your core, and where are you denying parts of yourself? Acknowledging emotions that arise. A lot of moms are angry. A lot of moms are angry. And I often say anger is the driver to other emotions. It's easier to be angry than it is to be vulnerable to sadness, to grief, to desperation, to shame, to guilt. And anger is often the one that drives. And so you have to really explore within yourself, what emotions are within you and where are they at? Identify, is it in my stomach, my digestive system, in my liver, in my spleen, in my heart? Where is the emotion at in your body? And I encourage my coaching clients to really sit down with the emotion. Take time to meditate. Have a conversation with the emotion. Perhaps you are experiencing shame and you really want to sit down with shame. Name the shame. What does it feel like in the body? Is there a color that arises? And ask shame questions. Why are you here? What is it you're trying to teach me? What lessons am I to learn through you? Because in my eyes, there is no bad emotion, okay? There's a low frequency, high frequency, but all of it is you. And you have to become honest with yourself in order to be your authentic self. I'm going to say that one more time. You have to be honest with yourself to be your authentic self. So acknowledging the emotions, understanding what's there for you. What have you been hiding? What have you been omitting to yourself? And that's where you start uncovering bits and pieces of you start arising. And we have to hold these parts of us with tenderness, with compassion. Because the more we resist, the more it's going to persist. And that's where the anger comes from, right? Because we don't want to admit to ourselves we might be unhappy in our marriage. We might be unhappy with who we are and where our life's taking us. It's all there. We become aware of it, and once we do, that's when we can decide what we're doing with the emotions, the decisions that we have to make. Where do we want to take ourselves in this lifetime? We are not meant to be stagnated as mothers. We are meant to embrace the mother role while being first our authentic self. Who are you beneath the mom mask? I see a lot of moms revolve their entire life around their children or around their partner, their hobbies, what they're doing, their time, their friends, the energy, all about the kids or all about the partner. And then you break up and then you realize, I don't even know who the fuck I am. I don't even know what I like. Because I spent my entire 12 years, 5 years, 4 years being in a relationship, revolving my entire time, energy around my partner. This is not the way we women are meant to live in this world. We are meant to be leaders. We are meant to be feminine, sensual, sexual creatures. And we have to start embracing this part of us, reclaiming it. We're not meant to be in the kitchen making sandwiches and doing dishes, y'all. Like, that's not it. That's not the role. Sure, maybe back when, decades and centuries ago, perhaps, right? We weren't even able to have our own bank account. That's fucking fairly new. Just in the last century or so, we're able to get our own loans, decide who we wanted to marry. There are still parts of the world where there are arranged marriages. We are lucky here in America and several other countries where we get to create our own identity. We get to decide what we want to do with our life. We don't need someone to make those decisions for us. It's time to rise up. Advocate for what you want and who you want to be. Let her come through. Stop pushing parts of yourself down. You're still going to have those wants and desires in your body. Your body knows what your mind tries to block out. Okay? Your body knows. Your heart knows. Your soul knows. Stop resisting it. Identify who it is you want to be. What do you want for this life? We have one fucking life. Only one. And this became very apparent for me because our bodies will give out on us at a moment's notice. On my way home from Florida, standing in the security line, person passed out, started having a seizure. And I just thought, fuck, life is so fickle. It can be taken away in a moment's notice. At the end of your days, in your last breath, what do you want to have done with your life? Who do you want to be? Because I don't want you to get to that last breath with regret. Wishing you would have traveled, wishing you would have loved more, wishing you would have opened your heart, wishing you would have cuddled your kids more, wishing you would have taken up that hobby, wishing you would have written the book, wishing you would have taken up that career. I know that I don't want to live my days with regret. Each day I choose ways that I can accomplish moving forward to get where I want to be with this life. I have a fucking mission, okay? And that's part of the reason why I created Moms Unboxed. Because I want women to be their authentic self. I want them to be aligned. I want them to master their relationships by reigniting self-love, by living a life of passion, by not boxing ourselves in. Because what? Societal norms tell us that we have to be A perfect mom? What the fuck does that even mean? What is perfect? Stop comparing yourself to the next woman. So many moms compare. And yes, I understand comparison is difficult, especially if you were raised with your siblings to compare, or that you felt like you weren't good enough. Well, let me tell you that you are good enough, and we should be rising together as women. My mentor, Melanie Unlayer, says, same power, but different. We are all powerful women. We're different. That's okay. It's okay for there to be contrasts in this world. Can you imagine if we were all the same? It would be boring. We'd be burnt out. We'd find, well, what's the point? We're all the same anyways, right? Fuck no. We're so different. And I love that. We should be building each other up, growing in power, in love, in femininity. Number 2 is living in alignment. Is the way you're living aligned with your values and your morals? Do you know what your values and morals are? Some of us don't even really think about it. We just kind of wake up each morning, live our day, and go to bed at night. We're not really thinking, wow, is what I'm really doing lighting me up? Does it align with who I want to be? What do I want to do? We have to be able to ensure that what we are doing, the choices we are making, is aligned with who we want to be, which is our authentic self. And so where in your day are you misaligned? Is there something that you're doing that you're like, I don't fucking want to do this anymore, right? I don't want to drive the kids to 5 million sports events each week. And sometimes as moms, we have a difficult time saying no, and so then we overextend ourselves and we're miserable. And then we're just upset and agitated and irritated at the kids because we're doing this thing that we really don't want to do because we don't want to say no. It's okay for children to hear the word no. Maybe next season we'll sign you up for basketball, but that's part of that perfectionist, right? Being the perfect mom, we forget all about our own self-care and where we want to be in our life and how we want to live in our life. Is that in alignment with what you really want? Take the time to create your own hobby. After my separation, I took a pottery class because that's truly what I wanted to do. I want to explore a new hobby. So I did that. And then I did burlesque. And I still want to do that. I love that. It's totally in alignment with who I want to be at my full authentic expression. I'm a dancer. I've always known I'm a dancer. There was a time in my life where I shoved that part of me away because I needed the validation from other people that I wasn't getting to validate that I was a good dancer. I don't need that anymore. I know I'm a great dancer. Just this past weekend, I had multiple people come up to me and say, "Are you a professional dancer?" No, I'm just really good at it. And I love that. I love that I can admit that. And I think being humble needs to be like tossed out the window. Why not celebrate yourself? Yes, admit when you're good at something. I think it's a beautiful thing to really embrace those parts of us, to celebrate yourself fully and authentically. So when you are meditating tonight, ask yourself, is what you're doing in alignment with who you want to be outside of the mom role? I'm telling you that your kids are going to celebrate who you are when they recognize that you are also living your own life. And that's okay. These are conversations that I've had with my children since they were little. My husband and I always supported each other having our own life. It's okay. Mom's going out with her friends. She'll be back later. We need to normalize having our own life outside of the mom role. We really do, because we deserve more than getting lost in that identity. Also, talking about alignment, are the people you surround yourself with in alignment with who you want to be? I think this is a huge one. When we go through our own growth process, there's going to be people that we notice no longer align with who we are. They don't think the same. They don't act the same. They don't behave the same. Their language is different. Their aura is different. Their energy is different. Like, there's going to be this time where you are evolving and you're going to start noticing, yeah, this is not really what I want to be about anymore. We have to be willing to say goodbye to some people in our life. And not necessarily goodbye. Perhaps it's more of a distance. You know, we have to be willing to kind of step back and make new friends. Make new connections with people who are more aligned with the direction that we want to go in our life. The person that we're being. We have to find our tribe, right? And that is something I've been so focused on the last 7-8 months, is meeting people who are more aligned with my lifestyle, who I am, where I want to be, where I want to take myself, the language that I use, the energy that I have. I want magic. I want to grow with women, and I just want to rise up with more empowered women, and I'm finding my tribe. I even found a fucking amazing pod tribe. I want to learn from these individuals. They're fucking light. They shine so bright. I want to celebrate with them. So that took me coming out of my little cave and really putting myself out there and listening and observing and understanding, are these people for me? Are they not? What am I seeing that doesn't align with me? Do I want to continue these relationships? So you're going to go through a point in time where your mom friends might not be the mom friends that you want to grow with. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't take away from the friendship that you had. It doesn't take away from the shifted relationship that you want to have. It doesn't make yourself wrong for wanting new friends. I hope that you can make new friends that are in alignment with who you want to be, who are going to accept you at your fullest authentic expression. Because what did I say at the beginning? Authenticity is the highest vibration of love. And we should be able to accept someone for their full authentic self, without judgment, but with curiosity. We're all different from each other. But does that person have something that they can offer you? And do you have something that you can offer them within a friendship? And is it in alignment? Just start noticing who you surround yourself with within your family, friendships, coworkers. And then you'll start noticing who your kids are hanging around. And then you'll really be enlightened. You'll be like, oh, this is interesting. What attracted you to this person? I would love to know. You know, you start thinking about those dynamics beyond just yourself. And you start thinking about who your partner hangs around, who your children hangs around, and what attracted you to that person. You start being curious about energy, about alignment, and understand alignment is a choice. You get to choose what you're aligned to and who you're aligned with. And this goes for choices and decisions that you're making. It's amazing to me that one choice can alter your life. So really be thinking about, does this choice that I'm making in alignment with who I want to be and where I want to go, is it going to expand me? Is it wholesome? Is it life-giving? And is it going to project me forward? Because you're growing, baby. You're going to be taking off the mom mask. You're going to be understanding what it feels like to be you. Number 3, having conviction. Not only are we having to be honest with ourselves, we're having to be in alignment with what we want. We need to have conviction with who we are. This one was a little more difficult because many moms are people pleasers. Okay, we have this need to make everyone happy, and in that we mirror people so easily. We can mirror people just so we can fit in and be what a person wants us to be, and that includes us in the mom role, right? We have to have conviction in who we are, even if that means someone might not like you. I have a secret for you. There's going to be people that like you and not like you regardless of who you are. There are people that are going to poke holes in who you are. And those people can poke holes very easily because that's the life they live, because they are miserable. And misery loves company. We all know that. And so we really have to have conviction in who we are and not alter ourselves to make our family happy, to make our friends happy, to be more likable, to be seen. I know who I am. I know what I have to offer. I'm fucking magic. I don't need to tell you why I'm a bisexual woman. You might not like it. That's fine. It's okay. And that's one thing I struggled with, was my lifestyle as a bisexual woman in an ethical non-monogamous relationship that once was in a polyamorous relationship. I was shunned. I was shamed. I felt guilt. I hated parts of myself. I tried to shove those parts of myself away. And what happened was I just started hating myself. I didn't even care about the other people that didn't like me. I didn't like me, and that was worse than anything in the fucking world. You have to like yourself. You have to love who you are. And if you're struggling to love who you are, I'm right here. You can DM me at I am Melanie Caroline. We will have a conversation. I am here for you. One of the greatest things you're ever going to do in this world is find love for you and embrace your identity and be authentic and true to you, because you're not living this world for anyone else. You're living in this lifetime because you have something to offer. I want you to understand that having conviction in who you are is one of the most important things in embracing your authenticity. You have to have this strong belief in who you are. And this is a work in progress, baby. It don't happen overnight. You're not going to wake up one morning and be like, yep, I'm this person, and fuck everyone else. I don't really care about what they think, who they see. And each day you're practicing having a strong belief in who you are and who you want to be and where you want to go. What is the next evolved version of you? What does she look like? What does she dress like? What is her behavior? How does she process her emotions? How does she connect with other people? How does she love on her children? Is there a difference in who the mom you are now to the mom you want to be? And I bet some of that's tied to living your authentic self. What does that look like in your relationship, your marriage, your partnership? I want you to have full conviction in who you are in your authentic expression. Be you. Shine your light. Stop boxing yourself in and not being your full self. Because boxing yourself in, ooh, honey, the air is going to be stifling. You're not going to be able to breathe after a while, right? The air is going to run out if you continue to box yourself, so you have to unbox yourself. This is exactly what this podcast is about. It's about mastering your relationships, unboxing yourself, and living your full sexual, sensual expression as a woman. So think about that. Do you have conviction with who you truly are? Number 4, living with intention. Okay, baby. What is your intention? What is the energy you want to be in? Are you living mindfully? Are you aware of the emotions that arise, the feelings that come up? Do you have the right intention in your communication, in your connections, within yourself? You know, what's the intention of going to the gym 4 times a week? Is it so that you can get a better body to look good for someone else? Or is it to feel good about you? You see, the intention is completely different there. Is you living your authentic self really just putting on another mask for someone else? What's the intention? Or are you taking off the mask, living your authentic self to grow in power, in sovereignty, to become more liberated? You can set an intention for everything you do. Do you set an intention? Or do you just kind of float on through the world? Float in, float out, blase blah. Like, do you have energy, conviction, intention, authenticity? So intention is everything. You really need to think about, what's the intention behind our self-care routine? What's the intention behind the goals that we're setting? Is it so that we can achieve them? Or are you setting up unrealistic goals so you can self-sabotage? Because that's not a good intention. What is the intention that you have for your life? I always set an intention for the new year. So if you're like, what the hell does that even mean? Go back to episode 23. I believe it's called 10 Ways for an Unstoppable Year. I talk about my process at the beginning of the year that I've done the last 3 years, where I set an intention, I set a context, I set things that I want to achieve for myself. Those things are very important. Make life intentional. Okay? Stop scooting, floating on by through your life every day, going weaving in and out with no intention. So many of us get up, go to work, come home, do chores, cook dinner, read a book to the kids, go to bed, and do it all over again. No, mix it up, baby. Do a hobby. Say, you know what, kids, you're going to have to pause on the sports because mom is going to do a hobby. I want to do something for me. I want to learn something. I want to read one book a month. I need to set that time aside. So making sure that whatever it looks like to be your authentic self, that you're creating space, energy, and time to actually achieve who you want to be. Set the intention for yourself. Keep yourself accountable, which is number 5. Taking accountability. Honey, there's going to be some shit that comes up for you. I ain't going to sit here and lie to you. There's going to be some things that you're going to face, and you have to take accountability for it. You have to witness yourself. All right? Yes, it may be triggering. Yes, you may feel some sadness, some grief, shame, frustration, rejection even. It's all within you. It is all you, and you hold it with tenderness, loving kindness, and you witness it. Do not reject or resist yourself. Keep yourself accountable. Give yourself time and space to journal, to move your body, to go for a walk in nature. Whatever your process is, to process these emotions so that you can understand yourself on a greater, deeper level. Whatever you have to do. I have a favorite spot that I go up to the river. I'm a Virgo, so I am earth baby. I want to be out in nature. I want to smell the river. I want to be out in fresh air. I want to touch the trees. But when I go to my river spot, there's this bridge that I have to cross. Okay, and this bridge is like way, 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 way up in the air. It's a tall bridge. My ass, I'll get out, okay, of my car and fucking scream with all I have and just release any anger, tension, frustrations, feelings of abandonment, rejection. I let it out. And when I feel like, oh, the tension's building, that tells me, hey, babes, you gotta go release. You gotta go process these things. So many of us moms don't know how to do that. We get frustrated and it just builds and builds. And that's not our authentic self, right? That's not who we want to be to our core. Yes, the emotions are a part of us, but they don't need to live in us. You know what I'm saying? Like, let it flow. Let it move through you. Understand where that emotion is coming from. And then release. Emotions are like waves in the ocean. The tide flows in, it flows out. And you start to notice when you're able to keep yourself accountable to really be a witness to yourself, you're going to have so much more space within you. You're going to start making decisions you thought you never could. You're going to start doing things that you've always wanted to do. So keep yourself accountable. Recognize the impact you are making for yourself and for others. Set boundaries. If you notice you're hanging out with someone that doesn't make you feel too good, set a boundary, honey. Like I said, you're going to find people that are misaligned, and you have to set a boundary, and you get to decide what that boundary looks like. If you're in a hopeless, helpless, unfulfilling marriage, you get to decide what that looks like. You get to decide how much you want to tolerate. Maybe you've decided you're done. You want to move forward. Or you've decided, you know what, there needs to be a big shift in my marriage, in my relationship, and I'm going to keep us accountable. I'm going to be the one to take action, because if I don't take action, then this isn't going to work. So many times we want to wait for the other person to take action, to go to therapy, to make things better, but it starts with you. And if you can say you've done all that you can be comfortable with the new direction that you're going, knowing that you did everything that you could. You held yourself accountable. You showed up. You processed. You understood what it means to be your authentic self, and you are living in an alignment of that. And sure, we would love our friends and our family and our partner to understand what that looks like, but honey, it's not always going to be that way. That's why I say you have to have conviction in who you are and what you want to be, what you want to do with your life, regardless of what other people think. It's okay to be your full, authentic self. Take off the mask. Your children are going to notice a change in your energy, your aura, the way you process with them, the way you talk to them, the way you play with them and engage with them. Why? Because you're being your authentic self. You're not trying to be this perfect mom. You know, what's even better is when you get to bring your kids along with you. You want to go on more hikes? Take the babies. Get them off the fucking video games and take them outside. You know, involve them in the things that light you up. And that's something I had to work on within my mom role, is I wasn't happy doing the things we were doing. I wanted to be outside more. I wanted to be more engaged. I want to be more affectionate towards them. And so I started doing that. I've made a commitment that every single month I'm going to take my kids on a one-on-one date. And damn, I'm already noticing such a pivot. They feel heard, seen, important, loved. We're not just hanging around the house. Like, we're doing things, and it lights them up, especially my daughter. My daughter loves being outdoors and going and exploring and trying new things. Yeah, my boys, they could probably hang inside all day and play Fortnite, but I don't want to raise my children that way. And sometimes we want to conform to what our kids want to do, knowing that's probably not the healthiest, but I don't want to fight them. I don't want to combat them. But they're still growing and developing and understanding what it is that lights them up. And if we're not showing them the different opportunities they have in this world, how are they going to ever know what's out there? What you do for yourself to be authentic and true to who you are is only going to have positive benefits with your children and your family and your partner. You cannot go wrong with advocating for what you want and who you want to be, the world you want to live in. You get to create that. Sure, there are some things outside of our control, and that's a whole nother podcast episode. But for the things that we can control, which is so much, there's beauty and love in that. And we get to be authentic, and we get to decide what that means for us. All right, mama, that's what I've got for you today. I know it was deep topic, but you know, it needs to be said. It needs to be said. All right. I need this podcast would not be Moms Unboxed if I wasn't talking about some crazy ass shit that probably no one else wants to talk about. No one wants to admit that they haven't been authentic and true to who they are. But guess what? I'm going to put you on the line. I'm going to encourage you to sit down and really truly think about what that means to be authentic, to be taking accountability, to be honest with yourself, to live with intention, to have conviction. It is your self-discovery journey. You get to decide where you want to go.
I also wanted to mention to you that in February, I am doing a Kinky Self-Love challenge where I am encouraging women to reconnect with their body, sensuality, and sexuality. So if you want to have some fun, this challenge is completely free. I'm going to be dropping in with riffs on connection, body, heart, and spirit, and dropping in a meditation to really clear the root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, and the heart. You get to explore your sensuality and connect with your body on a greater level while reigniting self-love. So if you're with me, I would love it for you to DM me at I am Melanie Caroline. Also, if you go to my Facebook, Melanie Caroline, I have a link and it says Kinky Self-Love. Just drop your email and your name, and you'll be sent an email. Again, it's completely free, so come have some fun with me.
I love you, mamas. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode on Moms Unboxed. Until the next time, sunshine.
Thank you again for joining me for another episode of Moms Unboxed. If you have a topic or relationship question, connect with me at I am Melanie Caroline. And don't forget to follow Moms Unboxed. May you live a liberated, sensual, and unboxed life. Until the next time, sunshine.